Love that. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're going to be taking a look at a Patreon request. Shout out to Lauren for the request. I love it when Patreon recommends some dope stuff because Lauren is of no exception. We're taking a look at a DKB dance practice performance video and music video called Miane Oma, or Sorry Oma, Sorry Mom, and I cannot wait to see what we have in store here. I do remember I've seen one member of this group in one class footage. I believe it was with Bada Lee. I could be wrong. You guys let me know. Lauren, let me know if I'm onto something. I think so based on our messages, if I'm remembering it right. But I can't wait to take a watch. This is going to be great. My first taste of DKB as a group. So let's go ahead and check it out. (2020). Woo! Love that. It says that they're the ones that choreographed it, and I love it. It's great. Yeah. Wow. Nice. Yeah. Oh. Sorry, Mama. Wow. Wow. Nice. I like that you can hear them singing in the dance practice space. Yeah. Wow. I really enjoyed that. That was awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the performance version. It's been a hot minute since I've seen Brave Entertainment. Yeah, so brave. I'm not beer. I was sure something new in 2020. Just wait. Let's get it, get it, get it. That's a really dope space. Does he have like a Joker makeup in one of the shots, it looks like? Nice. With the slow-mo at the end. So comparing the dance practice in this version, I really think they were significantly cleaner in the dance practice. And sometimes it works that way. Sometimes it's the opposite, where you see a more marked perspective depending on the artist compared to a live version or performance version. But it doesn't surprise me. I have said this before. Sometimes some of the best takes end up in the dance practice space, and I still stand by that because I live it. I mean, I've worked with a lot of dancers, and it's pretty much across the board. Even for myself, some of my best takes are ones that don't make their way on film sometimes because I'm just practicing or something, you know. So, and that's life. But what's nice though is both held their own very well, and they look like they did a great job here. I think some of the lighting choices is not really their fault, but they didn't quite match the, you know, what was going on choreographically. It kind of felt like it was dropping out whenever, you know, there wasn't any movement that kind of called for that type of lighting cue. So I'm just assuming it could have just been like, ooh, let's do something cool, but not really them. It was probably just whoever shot this one decay. I don't know, but let's go ahead and take a look at the music video. Oh, they're all trapped, it looks like. That was a cool cut between whoever was in the fur coat and him in the room. Now this is cleaner what they chose to do, like the parts they kept in it. That's cool. That was cool. That was cool with the airtime on that. Ah. That was a clean toss on that floor. Man. Oh man, everybody gets their own rage room. Love that. Set it on fire. Absolutely. When in doubt, burn it. Ow! Nice. Nice. Cool. Nice. I mean, that music video is freaking dope, not gonna lie. It looks really cool. I think they did a really good job of, you know, at least with the lighting side on that, really matched what was going on musically, like with the rest of the other scenes and venues, because it bled over really well. So I really liked that. So let's go ahead and go back to the dance practice. Okay, from the top, we're starting. Honestly, this choreo looks really nice. Honestly, just right here. I really like looking at it. I'm glad I looked at the dance practice first. That's why I go in this order, so I can see what the choreography looks like, to see what I can piece together conceptually, and then I look at the performance and then the music video. So I see, was I close conceptually? What is the concept? So I can refine whatever I looked at initially and when we do the analysis. So from the beginning here, just a simple feature walking forward, everybody else, absence of movement. I said this a lot, and I'll continue to say it too, because I never want to assume that this is somebody's X amount of video. This could be your first one, which, welcome. I think it's fun. Lauren picked a good one, right? But right here, notice with when there's absence of movement, it's really nice and easy to see your feature, right? If your feature's the only one moving, it's really easy to know, hey, I naturally want to look at the one thing moving when everything else is still, and vice versa. When everything's moving except for one thing, a lot of times in cinematic you know, context, you do end up seeing that sometimes, where there's somebody that's standing still and everybody's moving. You know, those make some really cool shots in film, and that makes really good shots in choreography. It's just a physical, you know, dance representative of art, which I love. So right here, very nice. He says, I'm Dark B, yo. And I like the little bounce there for everybody to get up. New person. 2020. That did give me similar energy to, yo, 2010. You know how we do it. If you ain't know, now you know. It gives me back to CL vibes. Man, 10 years prior. Oh, it's been such a long time. Anyway, but right here, they build up the energy. I like they hit it through. I love that. Very, very clean. Everybody's on the same page with how they chose to throw it in their energy. I love the fact that they're fringe. I like that everybody's has their hair down, so you can really see them all really give their energy. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It really makes me engaged on what's going on choreographically. Hitting it through, boom, dun dun, miyane. They take it through, ding ding, drop it down, bringing it up. Nice little hop hop, everyone making a subtly different choice, but they all decide to do the same arms, but where they're rocking their weight is slightly different. Then from here, they take it, they bleed it around, really nice way to get it into a new formation. You still have, you know, your 2 diagonals, and then you have your little mini group right there. Looks great. Hitting it through, boom, boom. I really like the stillness in that moment, and then we created more of a rotation and more of a nice fuller movement. Usage of levels is great here. You have your lower level right here, and then you have everybody else kind of in your little tripod. Easy to see who your feature is because they're in the center. Looks great. Everybody is also taking their energy and pushing it towards the inside, allowing us to naturally want to look focally in the center because that's where all of the energy is building up to, and your feature happens to be there too. Looks great. I love that. Boom. I love the fact that he looked up. It helps me want to see, hey, what's up there too? Everybody goes to reset. They go in. Ding, ding. I really like that choice. Very strong. And a lot of times those little details can sometimes get lost, but going from here and then throwing the energy up was really nice and very tasteful in that moment. Then they take it, boom, boom, drop it down nice and full. Love it. They take those hands out to the side, the pull out. I am noticing quite often, I noticed it with the very first feature, and then I've noticed it right here. They do pull up their shoulders quite a bit for some of these grooves that you normally don't see. You normally see a pull of the back, not really a pull of the shoulder. So I find that more interesting as a note and observation, not as a critique by any means. I like the pull right there, and then they build it up. It kind of could potentially be making it feel more like angsty or more more it's building, you know, like there's tension that's building. So that could be a way to showcase that physically. They pull the energy once again. I like that. Of course, by having the shoulders raised, it can showcase opposition more so when you lower those arms down. So that could be a reason too. Digging it through very clean on my guy, hopping through, using an assist on one of the other dancers, which is great. And yes, I do know that this is a 9-member group, it looks like. I don't know if they started a certain number and then they are here, or they added a member. That I don't know. But I mean, they do a really nice job. And because it's odd, I say this every time I look at a group for the first time, we always check the number. It's odd, so you're going to have a lot of symmetry that's naturally enforced. And they can do a lot because they have numbers on their side. This tops out at a small group. So once you hit 10 and more, that's where you get large group effects. So this would be like at least in the dance world, a 9 is where you top out at small group, and then small group a lot of times starts at 4, and then you have a trio, a duo, and a solo after that, right? So we digress. But anyway, I like how he takes it, brings it through. I like the choice where he kind of flips the hand, but then you see the reaction and the response from their heads as they also descend. So that was really fun, very subtle, but very effective. I caught it, and it was very captivating and engaging because it wasn't, it was a surprise, but it made me think, how did they do that? Or how did they get the timing on that? Because it's really tricky to get that timing. So that was nice to see. And then you have the absence of movement from our group of 4 on the outside. So it allows us to really easily see who our feature is in the center. And then you see your second group, which is the one that's directly connected adjacent to your feature. They bring it out, bringing it in. I love that energy there. Bringing it through that da-da-da, really nice, really writing his tone and his rhythm of his lyricism is great. He brings it in, dee-dee-dee, like that. We made that a smaller group because it was easier to reveal the group that's been still. And so when they join in, it's going to feel more full and not feel like we're covering up anybody. So I really like that choice. Looks great. That little dun dun, everyone goes boom boom, except for your feature. He hits it around the back. It's subtle modification, but very effective because they're complementary and dynamic. So that looks great. They look for the back and then they snap it front. Love that. Hair really helps us be able to see how quick they go because the hair it's hard to control it. It's dead tissue, right? It's not, you know, it's so hard to control. If I look this way, it's going to keep moving even when I'm still. So that's why hair can be used to your advantage, but it can also give you away if you're not going 100%. So they're going 100%, and you can very easily see that here. It's great. That part right there. Yeah. Love that. You can tell he's picking it. I am curious what his move is he's about to do. That. So I want you to notice something here. I'm glad it stopped right there. Do you notice where he's placing his weight? He's placing his weight near the outside of the foot. So if I were working with someone like him, which I do work with dancers that do this with their foot often, it could chalk up to the shoe, but a lot of times dancers are barefoot whenever they do certain styles and I'm cleaning their choreography. And whenever they're catering their weight more towards the outside of the foot, so imagine this is my foot, and this is where my big toe is, this is where my pinky toe is, and this is the ball of the foot, and then the heel stays like back here. you want to be mindful whenever you go up or you're placing your weight on the ball of the foot. You want it to be closer to the big toe versus the pinky toe. Here's why. Because there's a concept called sickling. If you've never heard of that, it's whenever you see a pointed foot and then, but it like kind of, it's just ugly. It's curved to the inside and you're ending up pulling a part of your ankle or like a tendon surrounding by your ankle that is not like, that can make your foot more susceptible to rolling and spraining. And so we always advise, in order for consistency in your balances or where you place your weight in weight shifts, you want to be mindful of the padding or the ball of the foot by the big toe and index toe, so the second toe. So that would be a note I would specifically give to him if I just noticed it, where he would want to place his weight more so over here than on this side, because it's going to make this movement a little bit more natural. Because also look what's happening. If you follow the track, notice that the knee is pushed out ever so slightly because of this weight position, when you really want it to be in line with where you have your hip. Of course you can bend it out, but you want that knee to be in line with the foot. And so he would be potentially more susceptible to causing strain on your knee by not being mindful of where your weight goes. So there's a lot that goes into at least the studio side of dance on the technical front. And you kind of think through when you talk about those things on weight shifts. And I do see those things can be applicable when you're doing choreography in general. When you're trying to balance or doing stability checks, it just makes it just more safe for you for long term, you know. But anyway, I digress. He takes it, and the only reason why I'm talking about it is because of what he did after. He wasn't doing anything that was purposely intending for the sickle to take place, so that's why I just brought it up. And so that's a little tidbit if you're ever curious, if you ever wanted to work on your balances, that's something you can think about. But the switch off looks really nice there. That looks great. Bringing it through the do. Notice he grabs it, throws it down. That part, they've gotten lower, and they're probably about to ascend higher. Basket run maybe. No, not really. Thank you. Not really fans of basket runs, and they haven't really done it. They just did like maybe 2 counts of that just to get into a new spot. Looks great. From here, now we're in presenting, just walking back and up. I love that part. Walk and ding and rock and ding. I like that. Where you have other parts of your body where your walk is not just a backwards rock. You end up rocking or weight shifting on your foot before you revert back to the direction you were just coming from, and then you have your head to help contribute, creating bookends of your body. So I really like that choice. And then your feet are coming down, looks great. I like that boom boom. He throws them over. They do 2 boom boom. It kind of feels like they did chest bops or usage and flexing of the diaphragm, boom boom, to rotate it around so it's nice and clean and clear, but intentional and on that music. And that right there, I'm always a fan of that. Where you take it, it looks like a string and someone's pulling you up from your spine. I love that, where your head's the last thing, because that can actually really help you in understanding this part of a head ISO if you were curious. And then you have half of the group that matches the feature and they're walking up, and then as soon as they cross over with the other group that was low, they switch it. And so now those that are walking on the outside, they match the feature too. And then this part, run, really fun, not really run, but like a scoop with the arms. You notice they're about to peel it. This was so clean, probably one of the cleanest dynamics they did in the entire routine. Very captivating, really fun way to showcase a feature naturally without making it obvious. Very nice to see here. Then they take it through, boom, and they go do-do-do-do-do-do, peeling it through all the way down. Then you have your feature still hanging out over here on stage right. He throws that arm, he drops down to match the energy of everybody who was in that front group, except for your new feature. He's up, everybody else is low. But notice that was teetering on basket run, but they weren't running. They were pacing their walks, or they were being intentional on when they stepped and when they refrained, or they added a dynamic or tension to withhold a walk and then get to their new spot. So that's not technically a basket run, even though it's in the position of one. That little dee-dee-dee, I like how they take it out and then they flip it, wrist roll, up to a different position, and I like the coverage of the eyes. Really good job here. Of course, some of them have it really connected, some have it overshot, some have it spaced, so that would be a normal thing for me to, touch on. But they did a fantastic job, though, up until this point, and even there, it's so minimal because it's so fast, and you have to think about context of getting in and out of it. It's not like they're holding this position. It's a transition almost. So you can be a little bit more forgiving when people aren't 100% on the same page on that, And this right here, the nice little throw, you notice some of them doing a throwing with their arms versus their back. I do notice that boy groups get away with it a little bit easier than girl groups, because girl groups, they have, you just notice it if you look at their like physiques with boy groups, a lot of times they have more like fuller arms, and with girl groups, a lot of times they have thinner arms, which can work and placate to certain styles and certain visuals. And I'm not speaking I'm speaking more general. I'm not really thinking about a particular group, and I'm not stereotyping either. There is just a observation is really what I'm noting, where with guy groups you can tell that they have more fullness of their arms, and so some of their choreography and their movements that they've progressed through their trainee days have them be able to do a lot of these types of movements a little bit easier in comparison to a lot of girl groups. A lot of them have different types of choreographies they focus on too, but I'm only speaking on like very limited knowledge of that. I am not a trainee, nor am I don't have an inside scoop on an agency either to where I can advocate and say trainees dance to this nowadays. Like, you know, I'm not that, and that's fine. I'm just noticing it as an observation that for them it's just easier to hide it collectively in comparison to female groups, but it doesn't mean that female groups don't do it. Like, they do a great job. I can name probably 2 to 3 easily at the top of my head that I've watched and analyzed, not including the ones that I haven't. So it's all about the concept, the context of your movement, and how this movement has implicitly formed on your body long term is really those key factors. Bringing it through that D and boom, nice little accent down, looks great. Hitting it through, I like that part. They go out and then they bring it up and then back in. It does feel very limited in the torso on this, but it is pretty quick, so they probably had to make sure they use that core to make sure they get those positions where they needed to be for the buildup of the course. The dig looks great. Da-da-da-da-da, nice little shoe action there, subtle. Boom, ding, 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 bringing out the tension. Notice some of them are looking down, some are looking front. I kind of feel like everybody was kind of looking down except for your feature, because he was the one that stuck out to me. He's our feature, so that was very well done on everybody's part. They take the arms, hit it through, doom, doom, doom. Really like that, looks nice. Pulsing, boom, doom, doom. Really like that choice as well. I like that part. Taking the energy, expanding it out, and then bringing it back in, with the exception of one of our guys. They stayed nice and chill over on the side to have their moment. I made it sound like it was chill. No, they weren't chill, but they captivated in a different way through modification of the movement. Then you have a new feature. He's coming up in center, near towards the back. Love it. He's up, really full in energy, which I like because there is subtlety happening with the rest of the group. So the energy of the actual track is maintained, whether it's one person or the collective. So I like that choice. He pulls them up. So I like the features too. I always am a fan of this. I talked about it way back on my first marathon I did of 17, and they do a really good job whenever they are featured to do something that has either a pull, a trigger, or like a puppeting marionette effect that infiltrates or influences the other groups around them whenever they are featured. So it feels collaborative even when it's obvious it's only one person singing. And I like seeing that just across the board. It feels like it's a group effort, even though there's a 1-point feature at most times. It feels like we're not isolating or disconnected at any point. So I just like that, and I'm seeing that a lot here in a great way. Bringing it through, I like that part, and then he throws it, and they really throw that hair to the side, looks great, that head, bringing it through, da-da-da-da, and then they throw it to create a nice transition. Love that, very full, and they had to really travel that to make sure that they get this nice clean formation right before they build it up to the second half of the course. That part, boom, boom. Now instead of the head, they're using that chest, and they use more of the hips and the torso to get that action across, but it needs to look as full as that head, and I think they definitely did that. Looks great. Pulsing through, boom, dee-dee-dee-dee. I really like that, looks great. Boom, da-da, like the expansion on that too. Throwing it, I like how they took it, boom, he threw it, dee-dee-dee-dee. I like this. Then he takes it over, then he grabs, he drops it down, then we have our, I think this is just called a side flip, but it's how they finish it. Now notice how they finish. They land left, right, and I appreciate the fact that they landed the same way because it looks intentional. Because if I just saw one person do it, I would say, good chance they may have minor fault that, meaning that they didn't quite land the way they wanted to, because most of the time people land cleanly on 2 feet or they're intentionally on 1 foot to prep for something else. But here, very clear that that was exactly what they wanted to showcase. And in the music video, that was really dope. That cinematic shot that slowed it down on that part of the music, that was awesome. Drop it down, they come up. Also, it does help when it's more on the quiet side when you flip, because if you land really heavy, it can also make me think, there's a chance that we didn't quite land that, because you want to think quiet feet whenever you do tricks, because you want it to have some degree of ease that kind of enhances the impressiveness of what you did. But it's still very impressive. I love it. Hitting it through like that click, click, boom with the tension, that crash, and allowed that slide and tension to build up on the side of the leg towards the inside. Looks great. Then they take it, build up the inside of the leg, causing more of a rotation through the body, starting with the knee to the hip, and then they brought it back up. Feels almost spiral. Then he pulls, my center guy does, and I like it because now everyone's on the same page, makes it look like a fun add-on. Then everybody brings it around, little hinge, boom, boom. Easy reveal of your feature in the back. That was fun. And then you have everybody go from stage left to stage right. Just kidding, complete lie. I thought they were about to peel it. They don't. If anything, they take the accent of that crash, and it signifies these guys to break off from what's going on. Really good job on establishing who your feature is, but still making it a fun moment with the rest of the groups. Then they slowly, nice little action, or kind of like a reverse almost, and then they crash down. New group over on the side, they hit down, makes a nice easy pathway for your feature to come to the front. It goes dun dun. I really like that with the pull up, which is good. Dee 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 with the crash, looks great. He goes da 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 and throws it. Love that. Dun dun da 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 dun. Love that. Great moment. The subtlety of everybody surrounding him, it looks great. Allows us to really focus on his tone and his lyricism there, which is nice. Building it through, dun da da dun da 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 da. The two that were with the feature, they kept going on it. My feature did the first one, but then he chilled out on the second one. Love it. New transition. You have a column established on stage right, and then you have a column that's being established on stage left. Fun. Then they take it over. Nice, and he goes through the group, and then they do a nice little connection after he finishes going through them. He takes it, he goes sorry, they bring it out, new feature with the pull. I love that. Now you had 3-tiered level at the end of that first feature to go into the next feature. That was really nice and seamless. Those are little details that I really appreciate in a group, and it makes me very impressed that DKB did this choreo for themselves, because it feels, it makes me very receptive to it. It makes me feel like we're really looking at DKB as a group and what their go-to movement qualities are. So I'm able to connect to it a little bit more than if I was just coming in watching any other video. So Lauren, you're cool. Thank you for the recommendation on this one, for sure. Hitting it through, dee-dee-dee. And this one does have a lot of like push-pull tension, so you can get pretty fatigued pretty quickly the more you do this style. So they're doing a fantastic job holding it down collectively. It's not just one person holding it. Everybody has to, in order to validate the content or the concept. So they're doing a really nice job of that. I like the subtlety of that. Boom, boom. Notice they have to be so freaking still in order for that next transition to be as clean as that was. That was really, really nice. Your feature in the front center, having their moment, turning it around from the back all the way towards the front. Looks great. That boom boom. I really love the tension in the pool there with the chest. Looks great. They take it. Once again, your feature creates a nice moment of control over to stage left. Everybody peeling that energy over to the side. Then they take it around, and then he hits it down. I love that rotation. That was fun. A new feature comes up, and then from there, he brings it around, boom, and then he causes it to be a speed change linearly, so it allows the energy to transfer horizontally as well. He goes that dee-dee-dee. I like that choice too. We're building up just like we did. We hear that sound. It's causing tension. It's causing a buildup, so they have to match that. If it's not choreographically, it's in presence, and they're doing that. And from there, it goes boom, boom, boom. I really like the build out from the outside to the inside. Then it goes right to our feature. Ding, 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 ding. Really nice to the sound. And you see that very, very well in isolation. Looks great. Miyane, oma, boom, boom, boom. Looks great. sliding it through, boom, doon, doon. Really like that choice as well. The subtlety, notice it's a different formation, but this one feels a little bit more spread out, and you can very easily see what everyone's doing. It looks nice, and it feels cleaner the second time than the first time. And the subtlety, boom, 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 very clear on what part of the music they're hitting on that boom, boom, boom. And you have the miane oma, and they bring it through, da, da. I like that choice as well. Bringing it in, sliding it through, ding, ding, drop it down. Now, I did notice in just that little moment, it could just be because of natural fatigue. It's 2 minutes in, and this is probably not their first take or first rodeo doing this track and this rehearsal. So this part, you can see just subtly who's still engaging through the subtleties of these bevel shifts and who is not. I was noticing a little bit more on stage left, the differences, but it's not so different that it makes me want to critique it. It's not really a critique, it's just an observation. The subtlety on that, da, 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 da. I like the little throw there, it looks fun. Da, da, like mama! And right there, the boom, boom, boom. So you have this little interruption of dubstep entering the chat, like this tank basses is what it sounds like. I don't know the actual name of it, but it just sounds like if a bass or if it sounded like a gun or like a high-end machinery, it would sound like that sound, just to me. I'm curious about sound production in that way, so I can know what the actual bases of artificial sounds, what they're actually called, so I can be better at talking about them in this context. We'll see if I ever enroll in a course, but it does make me curious. I like that part with the arm and then with the hand, and then they drop it down. Nice little reverb at the end of it. It's fun. The subtlety there. Then they switch in dee 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 with the brush. Looks great. Then you have your group of 5 at the top, heading it through. Ding ding. Love the throw on that. Looks great. Chug it through, ding, 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 the throw once again, but they use the elbow instead of the hand. Then they extend all their hands out to various degrees of the levels to make it very full. Nice surprise moment. Then they go boom, boom. I love that little hop there. They drop it through. Really nice. Shaking the head there, ding, ding, ding. I really like that choice as well. The subtlety, boom, cha, with the accent. Yes, so that matches the music great. Then right there, mama, he takes it. Now new reveal in the back. Does it remind me of other reveals they've done? Yes, but is it still different enough because of how they set it up in context? Yes. So I like it. It looks great. Then from there, I do appreciate the popcorned add-on where they bringing people up. So it goes from here, and then it goes here, and then they expand it out. It's just fun. I like it. Really fun way for your feature to be noticed, but still showcase in that way. Then everybody drops their head down. Well, one of them looks to the side. I think that's the only, yeah, oh wait, no, some are looking down to the side. So I'm curious what the head was supposed to be. Some are keeping it subtle, some are looking downcast. It all looks fine, very, very subtle. Then right there, they're taking it, they're running it. He expands it across. Then he has this nice little moment. They go, hey, and then we branch the energy out to the side. They throw it, ba da 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 ba ba. Yeah, da 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 da. That also looks super fun. Great. Yeah, da 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 ba da da. That's super cool. You could tell I sang the song. Then they have this nice energy. It feels like we're about to become very declarative, right? Because we have it close to our mouth, like it's about to be an anthem for ourselves collectively, which I like. Nice little clap. So it does sound like it's none of their voices. It's a different voice. It sounds like a female voice, but it's a fun little breakdown that they're doing where you have your center. He looks like he's taking boom, boom, boom. Everyone's matching the same dynamic. They're in a nice formation. Notice everyone's making subtle, different changes, and they're trying to be different than the person next to them, which creates more chaos, but it's still controlled and structured. Looks great. Then you have your center, boom, boom. Everybody expands out, except for your center expands up. Love that. Very clear and intentional. Then a nice, notice a little entrance wave to transition. I love that. And the entrance worked instead of exit, because if you think exit when you're moving away, it's like you're pushing and transferring the energy and leaving it there. But if you're entering into it, it feels like you're absorbing the energy that you just placed in that center over to where you're going. So I like that choice a lot. It looks fun. That right there, that kick into the split looks really fun, and I love that moment with the other feature going right there into a knee slide. There's a lot of quickness in these transitions, and there's a lot of movement that they have to be mindful of in the sense of there's not a lot of room to just kind of hang out. If you miss a move, it can very easily snowball into you continue to miss more moves because it's really tricky to catch up, which showcases complexity. And I really like that. They take it, they kick it. I love that choice. The switch, boom, and then he goes right here into a dolphin. Very well done. He didn't crash his hips into the floor. He also had control usage of those, I think those triceps to really make sure he was in control 100% of the way down. I love the commitment. He like dived into that dolphin. That was great. The throw, love that. And then we're still building up the energy. He takes it and throws it. Now, this is my one little note. This is just wishful thinking for me. I wish when he threw that energy up in the air, I wish our feature, he caught it. Because notice, look where he's looking. He's looking up. Oh, look at all this energy in the sky. Your next thing that you would naturally assume out of predictability and familiarity of seeing somebody structure that is whoever is coming up next, or if he continues to dance, or continues to be the feature, that it's that energy that you just threw up in the air is going to be caught somehow. Do they catch it? I don't think so. They don't make it obvious or clear that they do. You know, it just feels like we just left the energy and now it's floating onto the floor. It kind of felt like that to me, but that's just, you know, my own personal note. Is it just this take? Possibly. I don't recollect in the performance one that I felt that way. I only felt that way in this specific fixed cam dance practice. Maybe because the performance version had so many other things that I was looking at. But you know what? Just for the sake of curiosity, let's go check to see if they actually do this in the performance version. Okay, we're looking. Yeah, there's the dolphin. There was that weird lighting choice. No, they don't catch it either time. Yeah, man. So, right. So I guess like that's my one note. I'm gonna hold that down. Maybe they were wanting to showcase the energy right here where it just catches right here. But normally you see people, just like you see it thrown, you see it obviously caught, or you see somebody intentionally recognizing that that energy was thrown up. That wasn't the case here, so that is therefore my one note that I will extend to this if you're going to do that. Just be mindful. When you pantomime something, don't forget about it when you move forward. That's just kind of like miming, not 101, but it is something that it's just to be mindful of for a higher chance of success when you do pantomiming or miming. Commitment to the things that you create in props. Whether, you know, if I'm like making a ball, I don't want to have the ball and then I dance and I just completely forget about the fact I made this ball, right? It can be very anticlimactic. I want to set the ball down and then I can move on, but I don't want to ignore the fact that I created something creatively, right? So that's my little note, but it's so minor. I mean, out of everything. They did a great job nonetheless with that though. I like that part. Love that with the vibration, bringing it in, looks great. And then having everybody match that energy, what they're doing, da 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 da. You notice da da, that everyone's declaring here. And I kind of felt that as a foreshadowed moment because of what they did earlier in the build up and the bridge. I like that part. D. Nice with your feature. Very clear. Everybody else is on the same page in order for us to very clearly see what's going on with our feature. So that was good there. Hitting it through. Ding, 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 ding. This is very full. Like a lot of tension requested of them in order for them to hold it down all the way through the end, which is impressive. Normally when you see people who choreograph for themselves, sometimes they take the lazy route where they're like, oh, we're just going to do more subtleties and this kind of stuff and go simpler. But some people rise to the challenge and they're like, we have a great opportunity to really showcase ourselves in this light and in this way, and let's do it. And I value and I respect and I appreciate that. That's awesome. The energy of they throwing it, then they bring it around. I love that choice where they take it. Notice that everybody's keeping it around the same area. Some have their head, or like they push those lats down. And then some of them are poking their head forward, allowing more tension to take place right behind that neck and that hinge. Hitting it through, boom, boom, boom. They all come up. Notice that their heads are still a little downcast. And they snap it up. Looks great. And then they slide in. I like that where it kind of has, you know, of course we have these 4 situations where it's hard to see this very end, but I do appreciate that transition where we go and we flow it, we kind of intertwine to get to this really fun ending. It looks cool. And they go dun. I like it. So in general, I really enjoyed this, and it made it a lot of fun to kind of look at the different versions and see what about them they adjusted, what's the same, what cinematically enhanced certain things, and what, you know, looked really cool just in isolation to the dance practice. So I had a lot of fun with this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Lauren, for the recommendation. This was awesome. If you guys want to be a part of actually directly influencing what I watch, you can be like Lauren and many others and join my In the Pocket tier on Patreon. It, depending on the month, determines how many spots are open. Right now, at this point in time of me recording, I think I only have one spot open for this month, and the next month there may be a spot that gets open, or I may be able to add a couple more slots. We will see. But I've been having so much fun along the way. It's been wonderful to be able to hang out with so many of you guys in this way and discover different groups, different movement contexts, and be able to grow myself as an artist and an analyst. So once again, my name is Jess. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.